What's up, YouTube? Today we're looking and waxing some wood. The wood. Okay, that was just my printer. I thought that was my cell phone that's muted. But this is the wood we're going to be hitting up. Hopefully, this is coming through to some degree. Let's see if I can. Got real lucky with that. This one's not bad at all. It is the Chechen Rosewood. They've used on the 12s before. That jumps to mind. I don't really have a catalog of GEC in my brain, so they could have more than that, is why I say that. Or they could not. I have really no idea. The fit and finish on my examples is good. And by good, of course, I mean really great. I continue to use the bowling alley wax. I know some people have given a little bit cheaper alternatives that are specifically for the floor. I forget who exactly the username, but yeah, I appreciate it. Anytime somebody gives me info, I at least go look at it. I don't necessarily buy it each and every time, but I am definitely, if you're like, oh, hey, check this out, or oh, hey, this is what I do. I love that. Don't ever think that you shouldn't, pass on some knowledge to me. I don't consider myself to be, the end all be all for knowledge. It's one of the reasons I run this channel, is that I learn. It also enriches, quote unquote, the hobby. I get to interact with people. So I'm going to chat a little bit while this dries. I do think it is kind of funny to me that these guys were so hard to get a hold of, because, I mean, I got lucky. I think these are, I'm not sure where I got these from, honestly, but I about got two of these and then they sold out. In contrast to the Jig micarta, people weren't so hot on the Jig micarta. They weren't really dying to get a hold of it. And that's kind of the way it goes with GEC a lot of the time. People don't like one thing like another. The desirability kind of dictates how long of a window you're going to have to snag something. I have passed on the Beerlows simply because, and I also passed on the Granddaddy Barlow that they did with SMKW. I am going to get a couple of Granddaddy Barlows that I have, one from Marbles and then one from, I want to say Northwoods. The one that, it's a prototype. It has that weird shield that's supposed to be an arrowhead that looks very much like a butt plug. It's there for me is I get into different like wavelengths sort of with my collecting. There sometimes I want to use terms you hear more in crypto. Sometimes I want to accumulate, and then sometimes I want to liquidate and consolidate. And right now, I'm really not in the mood to buy pieces that I think are overpriced and aren't tripping my trigger, right? Because if you pay $200 for the Granddaddy Barlow, unless somebody really wants that and doesn't know how to search eBay for Granddaddy Barlow, or have a friend that would have a Granddaddy Barlow that they could get a hold of, or they don't know about Rough Riders $15 giant Barlows. You with tax, I almost pulled the trigger on the $200 Barlow from SMKW. I won't lie, but with tax, it was $212, and then I was like, oh my god, like they can't even price it, so it's just an even 200 because I was about to pull the trigger. And then it's like, I just like, this is just too much. Like, I get that it came in a cool box, that, it was really nice action and stuff. And it's a cool piece. It's made by Great Eastern Cutlery. Like, cutlery people are gonna be all about it type of thing. But I just couldn't bring myself to do it. And I guess there's kind of like, in my mind, it's not something I actually really articulate, but in my mind, there's this graph, so to speak, of, you know, cost versus desirability. Or maybe it's not, I don't know what the X and Y axis would be. I'm not going to get that nerdy. But the bottom line is you've really got to have it going on for me to spend $212 from a dealer, because if I want to get rid of it, I'm going to have a real hell of a time going above pricing above 225, because eBay taxes at 12%. You got to keep that in mind. So if I sell something at 200, it's $24 worth of tax. So if I sell the Barlow at 225, I've lost money. And I'm just saying, and pretend the shipping is free. Now, if you were to figure it out exactly, you would probably be looking at 235 plus shipping. So really, you're gonna have to price it at like 280 if you want to make 40, not even 40%, 20% profit on it. Breaking even is going to be a challenge, much less making even 20%. Not that it's about money, it's really not, because you're talking about, but I mean, to ship it isn't free. I mean, there's going to be boxes, there's going to be tape, there's going to be time. And I just, for me, it's easier to pass because it doesn't sound like I'm going to be able to move it if I need to in the future. And I already have several Granddaddy Barlows. So at that point, it's kind of like, I could, add this to my collection or not. And right now, I'm just not in the mood. Also, some people got pieces that were not stellar examples. Um, it is what it is, man. Like, I'm not gonna like everything. And then the the Beerlows are goofy looking, and just not something that I want to have to. That's such a niche thing that you've already counted out how many people. Not only that, people that want it could have pretty easily gotten a hold of it the first couple drops, and then hype built up and people were buying it left and right. And I also imagine that the people that flip it, like, really try to scalp other people, are also buying it because they're hearing the hype. And if I'm not really hyped about it, I'm just gonna sit back. I'm not gonna be indulging that. Simply because, like, from a collector's standpoint, if I'm even going to try to break even on collecting that piece, it's going to be pretty hard. But in any event, I made the hobby sound pretty not fun and nerdy this video, but thanks for sticking with me to the end. That's about all she wrote for this one. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.